This is what I want to make sure of. I want to make sure of the fact that you know, or you are aware, all of us are aware of the fact that we are in a very good place. I want you to know that for sure we have a better way, and we are part of doing the better way. We're going to be talking about the perfect career path. And over the years, something that all of us have been taught, I'm sure, is that go to school, get a good job, go to school, get a good education, and then get a good job. Now, I'm going to ask the question, has those jobs made you financially free? The freedom to do what you want to do and what you don't want to do. Have those jobs done that for you? Let us look quickly at the job categories that we have. And the first one, we're looking at the blue-collar worker. And this is someone who fixes things or repair something, build something, or services something. And the blue-collar worker has what could be known as job satisfaction, a job well done. Normally, it's a low startup cost. If you're working for someone else, or even if you're working for yourself, the low startup cost might be just buying tools and all that, and then hit the road and make some money. But I'm sure that we all will agree that this is not the perfect career path. All right. Then we have the white-collar job, and these are usually professional, managerial, or administration in an office. Usually, an office or cubicle. And usually the white-collar worker is employed by someone else to do the work. And this is usually manual labor or sales. Other than manual labor or sales, they have not been sales or manual labor. They usually manage things, see that things run okay, or coordinate, that kind of thing, all right? Now, the white-collar job is usually seen as the safe and secure job, a safe and secure job. I think many of us online here now would have realized or discount that fact that is not true anymore. Safe and secure? No. Now, the white collar or the blue collar worker, they usually fall in two categories. But let's look at the white collar worker. The white collar worker falls in two categories. And we can look at some people as achievers. And achievers are usually motivated people, energetic, resourceful. They want to achieve. But the problem with the achiever is that the achiever threatens his co-workers or his boss. The co-workers know they're not getting anywhere. They have to kill this one because he's too much of an achiever. The boss worries also because the boss knows that sooner or later the achiever is going to take his job. So there is a problem with the achiever. The other end of the spectrum is the other guy who is the hider. He hides. Why does he hide? He hides because he does not want to get noticed. He does not like the politics that the achiever has to be associated with it. Achievers, guys, they have to be politicians. They spend more time being political than achieving because they realize that if they overachieve too much, they're going to have this target on their backs, right? So the other end is the hider. The hider has to hide. He doesn't like the politics. He just wants to do his job and get out of there, get paid, get out of here. The problem with the hider, though, is that the hider will not survive in the new world economy that now exists or now has beginning to bud. All right? We also have the salespeople. Now, the salesman doesn't want to be an employee, and that's a good side. And there's a period when everything goes good for the salesperson. He earns a lot of money. In the beginning, he earns a lot of money. And many of you might know people like that, right? And then they start living the good life. So they buy the fancy car, they buy the big house, they send the kids to the best schools. And I think that many of us in our lives have met these people. Sooner than later, all that ends. And when that ends, the salesman is in a bad place, a very bad place. And what usually happens? He has to get another job. So now he starts working 45 hours a week. Then he goes to 50 hours a week, then 70 hours a week. And sooner or later he runs into problems because now everything is maxed out. All right? They have to work more hours to maintain that high lifestyle. All right? He now goes back to zero because sooner or later he cannot cope. All right? Now, let us look at the traditional business ownership. These people want to call the shots. And they don't want anybody to employ them. All right? Now, usually, they would decide to start a business and they use their life savings. All right? They have to take on more debt. Now, instead of focusing on what they do best, let us say this was a salesperson, they were very good at sales. Instead of focusing on that, they can't anymore because now they have to be everything to everyone. They even have to end up taking out the garbage. And guys, sometimes they're just hoping to break even. They don't even want to make a profit because it's not in the cards yet. They just want to break even. And unfortunately, sometimes if they fail horribly. They always end up having to file bankruptcy and they lose a lot of friends and relatives. All right? But let us say they succeed. If they succeed, and I'm sure you might know some people like that. If they succeed, the business owns them. Sometimes, very rare, they might make a lot of money, but they're not able to spend that money because they're so busy working. Let's look at the investor. That's the other category, the last one. Now, as an investor, you have to have a lot of money or incredible knowledge or skill. And even with the incredible knowledge and skill, guys, sometimes when changes creep up on you, it's sudden and it's drastic. And let me give you a quick example before I run out of time here. I have known so many people who were real estate investors who had incredible knowledge and skills. And they also had a mastermind group and supportive group or network. But when the market, the bubble up in the real estate market got busted, many of those very, very smart people lost everything. The guy, Go for No, he spoke of that situation in which he was in. He owned so many real estate. And when the real estate market bubble got busted, he went to zero. All right? So you can lose very, very big as an investor, all right? Real estate market, Eric Worre spoke about the fact that he did so very well in a business that he had. He sold it. They were publicly traded, and he started living large, very large. And then something happened. Some people wanted to, and in the real estate market, people can always play your company, and they did just that. He started losing a lot of money. He lost everything overnight. That's the investor. All right? So the point, we just looked at a number of folks, a number of different categories of how we earn, trying to identify the perfect career path. And even those are what I just went through, I think that we are all aware of and we have all been involved with in our lives. We are realizing now that they're not perfect. All right? Now, the perfect career path and how it's tied to the new economy. What's the new economy? Guys, the world has changed drastically. The old methods of compensation are dead or dying. And we are going through the biggest economic shift in our lifetime. Let me say that again. We are going through the biggest economic shift in our lifetime. And I'm going to share with you how you are at such a good place. And this is just a reminder. This is what we're told. We're told to go to school, learn how to be a good employee, find a company to employ you, work hard for 40 years, and then retire. Result? People soon realize that the loyalty that they give to a company, they're not getting it back. You're loyal, all right? It is not being reciprocated. And unfortunately, they are finding out that they can't retire after 40 years, so they have to keep working. What has changed here? In the past, we were told, listen, we pay you X amount of dollars per hour, but we are now in what is called a performance economy. And in the future, in fact, starting now and in the future, we will be paid for performance, not for time anymore. And let me give you an example. A hotel person will be paid for how many rooms cleaned and not by the hour. So you pay for the number of rooms you clean and not by the hour, right? the company, and let me give you another example. People who work in the service industry, food service industry, for example, you are told that, look, we pay you $100 a week and you get the rest of it by tips. All right? Now, the company will lower the annual salary or reduce the base salary, for example, say $20,000, and say that you are going to get paid by achieving certain benchmarks. Every time you hit a benchmark, you get paid. Every time you hit a benchmark, you get paid. Now, why has that changed? It has changed because we have become so special. We have become so efficient in terms of technology and in terms of efficiency. We have become so much more efficient, and technology has taken away from us. Give an example. Years ago, when I want to make a call overseas, I had to go through an operator. Some time ago, they had people operating the elevators. And even in the farming, now one machine is replacing 50, 60 persons. All that now has resulted in people being unemployed, and there's always somebody who wants your job. Now, what we do is better. Why is it better? It's better because we can not only survive, guys, we can thrive in what we do. Consumers still need to be educated. Companies can hire large, expensive sales force, or they can use the network marketers. The network marketers are going to work because they are going to be rewarded, right? They are much more efficient. And the word of mouth marketing still is the best means of marketing. Now, what does that mean for you? You can receive all the benefits of a traditional business ownership without the typical risk. Now, you don't need much money to get started. You can get started in our business for under $500. And you still have at your disposal a large, very, very, very large company, very efficient company that has all the things in place so you can benefit. But what's the catch? I want you to listen to this carefully because it's very important, and you're going to meet people who you might have to repeat this to. You must accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. You must accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people, or to be more specific, you need to embrace the temporary